Hello there and welcome to another episode of In Case You Missed It, a social media show where we take a look all over Chatham-Kent in the worlds of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we see what these groups make Chatham-Kent really what it is. And you're thinking to yourself, when was the last time I bought somebody a cup of coffee or mowed somebody's lawn when they're on vacation, you know? Have you ever heard the term pay it forward? That's what we're here to talk about today. If you look behind me, we have a Facebook group here called Pay It Forward, Chatham-Kent, Comber, Stony Point, Bell River. It's everywhere, but we're focusing here on Chatham-Kent. And I am very pleased to have Jerry Ann here, who is the admin, one of the admins of the whole page. The owner, actually.
I actually created it, yeah.
So there we go. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
How did this page begin?
Actually, it started at home on my couch.
That's awesome.
It's funny, but I was sitting at home and there's a Windsor group called Pay It Forward Essex County. So I thought, well, why don't we have one here? So I created it. And that afternoon, I think it was around 2 o'clock, by 6 o'clock we had 500 members.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it just exploded. It exploded. So we had to do contests, different things. Now we're at 5,100 members, which people say, oh, they're not that active. Actually, if you go to our admin page, 4,900 are active.
You have people who are just donating items for
Yes.
people who might need them. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, everything is donated. There's nothing on there that you pay for. So, for instance, we had someone who donated a boat.
Oh, really?
Just this week, we had a boat. It was like a tin boat.
Sure.
They wanted the trailer, so they purchased it, but it was a package deal. They didn't need the boat. The boat didn't have a motor, but they gave it away.
That's amazing.
You know, we had a barbecue that a couple got married, and they already had one. This barbecue was brand new. Well, I guess he had it 3 months. Put it on there to give it away.
Yeah.
So I think everything, people like the feeling of giving.
Yes.
And when they can give something, then instead of putting it at the road, they're like, wow, I just helped someone. So it's kind of snowballed. We weekly do things to give away. We just did a backpack program where everything is donated. Like, we had brand new backpacks, pencil cases, the whole thing. Now, we do let people know United Way has their backpack program. We keep the community knowing what they can get, but sometimes people don't get it, so we are there to help get them. With our group, too, I run a clothing ministry, which is free, and on our site, every week I post it, because our clothing shop is almost as good as Goodwill. Like, it's big. It's the whole top of Praise Fellowship Church. And it's free.
Wow.
So we have staff and co-op students, and we go through everything. If it needs mending, if it's not perfect, we don't keep it. We pass it on. And it's right now it's the back to school. People need help. So we do that, and this group has actually brought in a lot of donations.
That's amazing.
Like abundance.
So when you're talking to the members who are coming on here, whether they're new or old, you know, how many messages on maybe a weekly or monthly basis do you get saying, you know, I really want to,
in a day, I'm going to say about 25.
Wow.
A day. That's just personal messages. This group has gotten so big that I have another admin, Glenda, and it's amazing because they'll personally message me. They have something to give away, say, but they maybe not feel comfortable coming to their house.
Sure.
So us as admin will post it. So even though all the stuff's posted isn't directly from me, it would be from people that they're elderly and they want to give it, but they don't want people coming to their home. So we post it, we pick it up, and then they come and get it from us.
It's amazing, you know, that this group has flourished to where it is today.
Yeah, well, 4 months.
4 months. So let's segue to the next question about that. How important is the social media world for a group like this, especially for a small knit community like Chatham-Kent?
Very important. If it wasn't for getting us out in different areas, how would they know? People wouldn't know. You know, people know what Pay It Forward is, but they'd have no idea, well, where do I post to give it away? Or let's just go give it to a store.
Sure.
Here, I have people messaging me saying, you know, I don't want to sell it. Will I give it away?
Sure.
Like, how will I give it away? If we didn't have social media, all of the things that are available in Chatham-Kent, people couldn't get access to.
Yeah.
You know, United Way, geez, that you could. There's so much, like Ontario Works. There's just so much out there for people to get. Food banks. You know, my site shows there's a post where every food bank in Chatham, every soup kitchen, anything that people need, they're there. So we try to connect if you're in need with what you can get. Without social media, people wouldn't have that.
And for somebody who's trying to get into the social media world, again, you said in 4 months, you've got this, amazing foundation of people who are willing to help out into the community. Do you have any tidbits of information for somebody who's, even maybe themselves are trying to, say, I want to help, how would they get themselves out there?
If they want to just help, I would say for me, I started helping with the Windsor group.
Okay.
So if there's something they really want to do, I would get involved with a group that's already started in another area, learn how they do it, then start in your own area. Trust and transparency are very important when you're doing anything like this. Fundraising, anything that you're doing, like we did a couple duck races to raise money for missions at our church in India. We raised $400 that went to them, and that other $400 went to the person who won, and we do them live, right?
Okay.
So that nobody knows who's going to win. They're a little duck race offline.
I love those things. I wish they do more, yeah.
And that money, half went to the people and half.
That's amazing.
It's so transparent. As long as you keep everything transparent, the members will keep coming.
That's just, people love giving out into the community. We are such a giving community, and it sounds like, from the ground up when it started in Windsor, and you brought it all the way here to Chatham-Kent. It's really got, everyone's gone on that bandwagon just to really help out. So how does one join up with, Pay It Forward, Chatham-Kent, Comber, and all the surrounding areas?
Just go on Facebook and click to join. We do go through to make sure who's joining. Our big thing is I'll let anyone join as long as you're not just one person friend on your Facebook. We try to screen for people that live overseas and stuff.
Sure.
Because we want it to be a safe zone too. Even posts, we read them before they're posted because it's not a sales site.
Sure.
Now we do allow, if someone's looking, and which we had a young girl looking for a tricycle.
Okay.
And so her mom was willing to pay for it and everything, so we were looking for one. We let her put that, because she wanted just to know if anyone could find her one. Turned out we did find her one.
Perfect.
And it ended up getting, she paid for it, which was all right, because we don't really like to have a pay site, but that was a different story. She couldn't find it. It's hard to find a tricycle, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So she did find a tricycle, and she ended up being able to have it. So it connects everyone to stuff maybe you don't have.
Oh, Jerry-Ann, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Is there anything you would like to add about Pay It Forward that we may have missed, or just in general about just the whole aspect of Pay It Forward?
I think my thing with Pay It Forward is it's like whether you believe in God or not, Pay It Forward is like blessing others. So if you have stuff you don't want and you're giving it away, you're blessing someone else. So you'll just keep blessing, right?
And they'll just have to keep
passing it on and on.
passing on by joining up with the group, or
join the group. By all means, we love the members. You may never ever want anything, but maybe in your garage one day you'll be like, oh, I don't need this. Maybe somebody else will.
Somebody will want it.
And you post it, and that person might be like, oh, I wanted this and I couldn't have it. Now they do.
There you go. And that one man's treasure or woman's treasure is another man's gold, or whatever you say.
Oh, for sure. It's great. It is.
So thanks again for coming on the show, and thank you for tuning in on In Case You Missed It. Again, check out the Facebook group, Pay It Forward, Chatham-Kent, Comber, Stony Point, and Bell River. That's a mouthful to say.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next month on another episode of In Case You Missed It. Take care.